Let me set the stage for you. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. It's your first day back to go to college. Your mom comes in there and wake you up. You are so excited. You get your favorite clothes on. You go in the bathroom and start getting ready. And then you see it. Oh, man. Today, we are going to be learning about acne. It is a condition that I'm sure most, if not all of you watching this video right now, have probably struggled with at some point in your life. You might even be struggling with it right now, like I am. But, however annoying acne may be, the more that we learn and know about it, the better we can try to treat it and prevent it from happening and being such a bothersome part of our lives. So, let's dive into it. To begin, let's learn exactly what acne is. It's clinically termed acne vulgaris. It even has vulgar in the name. Anyways, according to the National Institute of Arthritis and Musculoskeletal and Skin Diseases, acne is a skin condition that happens when hair follicles under the skin become clogged. So, the first thing we need to grasp to be able to understand acne better is what a hair follicle is, how one can become clogged, and what clogs it. A hair follicle is a tube-like depression in our skin that serves as the growth and individual housing sites for each of the hairs in our body. It contains many different structures to help facilitate hair growth. Epidermal stem cells originate from the lower half of the follicle in a place called the hair bulge. These cells move down into the lowest part of the follicle called the hair root. And it's in the base of the hair root that the hair bulb resides, which contains the hair matrix. It's in the hair matrix that the cells divide and multiply. And it's these cells that eventually become your hair. As the older cells move away from the root, they then harden and die because they have moved too far away from the hair papilla, which supply nutrients to the dividing cells. Before death, the cells acquire proteins called keratins. According to Hull's Human Anatomy and Physiology, this keratinization produces a dry, tough material. And this material is our hair. The hair shaft sticking out of our skin is the hair that we see, dead skin cells that help us to better sense the world all around us. So, how can one of these hair follicles become clogged? That is thanks to the sebaceous gland and its secretion, sebum. The sebaceous gland is everywhere in our skin attached to all of our hair follicles. Its job is to make sure that our hairs and our skin stay soft, smooth, and waterproof. It secretes, as mentioned, sebum that lubricates the hair and covers the skin as the hair shaft exits the top layer. This stuff is very good for our skin and our hair. Our skin would be terribly dry without it. It's not the problem. But problems do arise when those sebaceous glands get clogged up. Excess sebum and stray skin cells can get clogged up in the glands and keep them from properly excreting the sebum onto the skin through the hair follicle. More and more stuff starts to accumulate in the glands, and this creates a very attractive environment for bacteria. And when the bacteria starts to accumulate, the immune system triggers an inflammatory response, bringing pain, redness, swelling, and heat. And when the wall of the hair follicle just can't take the pressure any longer, it spills all that mess out into the skin around it, making a pimple. A painful mass of sebum, dead skin cells, and bacteria that always pops up right before your first date. Gotta love it. This is sadly a very common condition. Hull's Human Anatomy and Physiology states that over 80% of people are affected by acne at some time between the ages 11 and 30. The clogging that causes acne normally starts to become a problem around puberty, making acne hormonally induced. Once again from Hull's Human Anatomy and Physiology, just before puberty, the adrenal glands increase production of androgens. This stimulates increased production of sebum. At puberty, sebum production surges once again. So all those hormones cause the glands to produce a lot of sebum, which inevitably leads to them getting clogged with the sebum, the dead skin cells, and all the bacteria, creating acne. So now we know what acne is and what causes it. But now, let's finally get to the question I'm sure everyone has been waiting for. What can we do to combat acne? But before that, you get to watch the acne routine that I go through every morning. And while we're watching that, here's some fun facts about acne. Alright, let's get into the good stuff. Number 1, acne is not only caused by hormones, but it can also be influenced by your family history. Unfortunately, according to the NIH, researchers believe that you may be more likely to get acne if your parents had acne. So that can be a good telltale sign to see if the storm's coming or not. 2, anyone of any age can struggle with acne, though it is most common in teens. This is actually something I didn't know until I visited my dermatologist, when I said I couldn't wait to get older so I wouldn't have acne, and she informed me my assumption was incorrect. But since hormone production does slow with age, acne does get less likely. 3, sorry to all the ladies out there, it is more common in males in the teenage years and more common in females into adulthood. So girls are more likely to struggle with it later on. 4, there are actually 6 different types of acne. We have whiteheads, blackheads, which are black from air discoloring the sebum, not because of dirtiness, papules, pimples or pustules, nodules, and severe nodular acne, also called cystic acne. And this was the acne that I struggled with. It was very painful. This is a photo that one of my friends took before I had started treatments to help my acne. It has drastically improved since then. Finally, here are a list of things that do not cause acne, but can make it worse. These include stress, things being pressed on your skin like a backpack or a helmet, things in the environment like pollution or humidity, squeezing or popping your pimples, washing your face too hard, and finally, your diet. And we'll be looking into that one a little later. Alright, now that my face is nice and clean, let's get back into how we can combat acne and keep our faces pain and blemish free. Took some of my hair with it. Anyways, let's continue on. The goal of acne treatments are to heal currently clogged and inflamed pores, stop the formation of new ones, and prevent and heal scarring. The scars from acne can get really bad and last for a really long time, so it's important not to let them go unchecked. Before moving forward, I should also mention that I am not a doctor in any way, and I'm not trying to give medical advice at all. Please seek a licensed physician for advice on any of these treatments. Also, most of these treatments can take weeks to months to begin working, so don't get discouraged if you don't see results instantly. The first method of treatment is topical medications that you apply to your skin. These include over-the-counter products and antibiotic creams that work to kill the bacteria that can get clogged in your pores and may also reduce the amount of sebum being produced by your sebaceous glands, retinoids that come from vitamin A and work to treat scarring and sores, slow inflammation and keep acne from forming, and salicylic acid that breaks down blackheads and whiteheads and can also keep the cells near your hair follicles from shedding, taking away one of the factors that causes glands to get clogged. Sulfur is also used to break down pimples. In addition to topical medications, there are also oral medications that you take with your mouth. These include antibiotics that also do the same as their topical equivalent, stopping the growth of bacteria and help them with inflammation. Isotretinoin, also called Accutane, that is an oral retinoid that works through the blood to help acne and open up clogged pores. With the pores open, other medications like antibiotics can get inside and help treat the acne at its roots. Isotretinoin can also be used to help with scarring. Hormone therapy, which is primarily used in women and helps stop hormones from causing sebum to be produced in crazy amounts. And finally, we have corticosteroids, which help with inflammation. The main medication I was on to help treat my acne was Accutane, which is one of those oral retinoids. It really did work to clear up my skin a lot. I've been off of it for about 7 months now, and I really only get sporadic acne like you can see here, but it's nothing like I used to have. There are also some other treatments doctors may use in the worst acne situations, such as laser therapy, surgery, or other procedures. But these again are worst case scenario treatments. So, those are the main medicated treatment options for severe acne. But what are some practical steps that anyone could take to try to help their acne or to prevent it? Most of it is pretty straightforward. These include cleaning your skin gently, taking time to wash your face in the morning, at night, and after exercising with soap that isn't harsh, shampooing your hair regularly, not popping or touching your pimples no matter how hard it may be, shaving carefully, using sunscreen, especially if you're on acne medication as it can make you burn easily, and choosing cosmetic products that will not add to your already oily skin. Phew, I think we got it all. Now, let's take a minute to think about everything that we've learned so far. We've learned what acne is, what causes it, how it is medically treated, and what steps we can take to prevent and treat our acne on our own. Before we end off today, let's do a quick case study on something that I mentioned we would revisit later, our diet. Specifically, how does the food we eat affect our acne? I've always heard that our diet has a large effect on acne severity. But is this really the case? According to studies referenced in an article by the American Academy of Dermatology Association, it does appear that our diet can have an effect on pre-existing acne issues. Once again, our diet does not cause acne, but it can make it worse. Most Americans consume lots of high sugar foods and drinks. This raises your blood sugar very quickly, which can cause sebum production to increase and can bring about inflammation all around your body. And as we know, sebum and inflammation play a very large role in acne formation and severity. Let's look at some study statistics. In the USA, around 2,300 patients were placed on a low-sugar diet to lose weight. In the end, 87% of them reported having less acne being on the diet, and 91% reported having to use less acne medication. In Australia, 43 men between 15 and 25 years old either ate their normal diets or switched to a low-sugar diet. And once again, those on the lower sugar diets reported significantly less acne. Other studies show that all of the kinds of cow milk can make acne worse. In one study, around 50,000 US women shared what they ate during high school. Only cow's milk was found to be linked to acne, with those drinking it being 44% more likely to have acne than others. These studies seem conclusive. It sounds like high sugar diets and things like milk can and do affect your acne severity. But things aren't necessarily so straightforward. Other studies show no correlation between diet and acne. And according to an article by Harvard Health Publishing, dietary records can be faulty. A quote from the article says, "A person with acne who strongly believes that diet affects their skin health may be more likely than others to recall and report certain elements of their diet, such as fatty or sugary foods, than those who are more skeptical about a connection. Such recall bias can affect the results of a study like this. Also, other factors, so-called confounders, might be at play and lead to misleading conclusions. For example, maybe people who drink more milk also happen, just by chance, to live in more polluted areas, and it's the pollution, not the milk, that is causing their acne. As you can see, this can definitely lead to some false statistics." And finally, the article states that studies like this can only detect an association, not causation. That means that while those with adult acne tended to consume more fatty and sugary foods, the study cannot prove that their diet actually caused adult acne. It also could not determine whether a change in diet would reduce the incidence or severity of acne. So maybe things aren't so black and white after all. Oh, hi. So, it appears that the consensus is that your diet could be having an effect on your acne, but it isn't a guaranteed correlation. The general recommendation is to keep enjoying all of your favorite foods in moderation. And if you happen to notice that when you eat a certain food, your acne spikes, see if cutting it out of your diet will make your acne get better. If so, maybe that thing is causing your acne. The results will vary from person to person, so don't be afraid to experiment a little. Watermelon. Delicious. Wow, we have really learned a lot in these last 15 minutes. I'm actually very surprised I was able to compile all this information and get everything ready in the short time that it has taken me, but it has been quite fun. In our time together today, you learned what acne is, what causes it, how it is medically and practically treated, a lot of fun facts on the way, and we even got to explore some case studies regarding acne. Thanks for taking some of the time out of your day to spend it with me. Now, as we come to the end of the video, let's take a little time to do some reflection as I ask you some questions. 1, for those of you who have acne now, what steps can you begin taking to try to combat it? Maybe you will be like me and take Accutane or isotretinoin to really try to attack your acne at the root. Maybe you will, also like me, use some medicated facial products to help your skin deal with all that extra oil. Or maybe you could watch the foods you eat or try not to pick at your pimples as much. Taking little steps today can make a big difference tomorrow when it comes to acne. And my second and final question is, for those of you who have never had acne, number 1, be thankful. But in all seriousness, why? Why don't you have acne? Did your parents have acne? Do you mainly eat healthy foods? Are you taking a certain medication like a hormone controller that is silently combating your acne without you ever knowing it? Or maybe you're young enough that you haven't had to deal with this issue yet. There's a million potential reasons, but seriously, try to figure it out. It's fun stuff to think about. Well, I guess that's it. Thanks again for watching. Keep your face clean and enjoy the credits. Sorry. I'm just gonna do this multiple times. I think the best one. Okay.
Matt, good morning, Matt. It's time to get up for your first day of college.
Yeah.